And may the glorious presence of love and of life, the fullness of light, find its dominion within each of you. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. A sun is with you. And upon this alchemy class, the study of alchemy, an alchemical interaction that can take place in substance, in an object, and even in an activity, which brings about a transformation, a transmutation, and finally a transfiguration. The mighty T-force of alchemy itself. Transformation, transmutation, transfiguration. Transformation must take place, and that includes the transformation of the Magi, the initiate, the awakening one's own consciousness. One's own consciousness must undergo transformation to begin to apply the sacred laws, the magical laws, true spiritual magic that can bring about a chemical interaction in any kind of substance, in any kind of object that has been formed out of substance, and even any kind of activity. In days past, and most prominently with the great Ascended Master that you have come to appropriately love, the William Shakespeare, the mighty Saint Germain, and of course his wonderful life embodiment in which he served as Merlin. And even after his ascension and taking on the name Saint Germain, his reappearance in this world, which does not happen very often, that is an extraordinary exception. The question you might ask yourself, if one gains their freedom in the ascended realms of love's eternal perfection, why in the world would one ever want to come back to this realm? Only to serve, service, to serve. And even with that great desire, one must have permission from the spiritual hierarchy that is not only the authority for a solar system, a system of worlds, and that is the being known as the solar logos. That authority must even come from the height of all authorities, the great central sun at the center of the universe itself. Yet when we understand the life that is Saint Germain, and as each of you have studied and have discovered, there has been a long-standing, almost 70,000-year planning for what took place on December 21, 22, 20, and 12. 70,000 years of plans, most of which went unknown, unrecognized by the people of Earth. Other plans, very dramatic, that played itself out amongst humankind. But even then, when that occurred, people did not understand. And you understand, precious hearts, that just past 70,000 years ago, there was so much darkness upon this planet. The sinister force had wreaked havoc. The 10 billion of you that call yourselves human beings that came from the central sun, 71,000 years ago, not even 500 million of you were living on the planet. You all lived, you stayed up in the plains of bliss. And that's where people go to when they lose their physical body and life commands them to reincarnate on the wheel of birth and death. Then in between those lifetimes, they are taken to the plains of bliss to rest and prepare for another embodiment. 71,000 years ago, we had, out of the 10 billion of you, 9.5 billion almost, I'm rounding out numbers, 9.5 billion of you that were living in the plains of bliss because your attitude is, I don't want to go down there. It's too dark. It's too difficult. I'll get lost. I got lost last time, and I lost my body. It was horrible. I'm back up here. I'm staying here. At least I'm functioning in my light body, but there's no pain, there's no darkness, and I can rest. Yet there was a crying out for help. Yet not only from the people of earth, the powers of nature and the forces of the elements, the planet herself, the elemental beings, so many of which were driven underground by now. They were all crying out. It was clear that the people of earth had caused themselves and their planet, and all kingdoms that share life upon this planet, on a path of self-destruction. And when that becomes clear, and the only way it's clear to an ascended being or the authority of ascended realms is when the all-seeing eye of God reveals it. And when that's revealed, then you have cosmic intervention. Now, you've got all sorts of groups upon the earth. You have religions, you have spiritual groups. And various groups believe in different things, and a lot of them have half-truths. Some of them are just beliefs that have no truth, and some of them are almost truths, but history is not giving them the full truth. Scientology teaches that you all, somewhere, someplace, sometime, have your own planet. Maybe not you, the embodiment of you here, but your great God presence does. And there's some truth to that. And I only bring that up so it doesn't shock your hearing to hear that if the all-seeing eye of God reveals a planet and her peoples and kingdoms are heading towards a path of self-destruction, this is the hour that allows cosmic intervention. But it's not just that it allows cosmic intervention. There is a demand for cosmic intervention. And where does that command come from? It comes from the beings that own this planet, that had this planet created. And they are the Tetlacorians. Your planet, as far as the Galactic Federation of Awakened Systems of Worlds, doesn't call your planet Earth. It's called Tetlacordia. And so it's those beings who rent your planet out. Your planet is a waystation, built, created, and loaned to you to be a planet where you will make first contact with what is called atomic physical reality. Planet Earth was not created, even though it has been, it was not created to be visited and populated by beings from other systems of worlds, even though that has occurred, and that occurred because the people lost their way. That's not why planet Earth was created. Planet Earth was created, and every solar system, every galaxy has those dedicated planets which are not to host sentient beings from other worlds. Their purpose is to host sentient beings who are coming into the physical universe for the first time. They must go through training. And those beings come from a great star, not a planet. And in your case, you all came from the greatest star in the center of our universe, the great central sun. And the purpose of coming to Earth was to begin your training. How do you, as spiritual, non-physical beings, because in the great central sun, you are not a physical being. You are an electronic being of light. What did you look like? Staring right at you. You got two charts. Look at the upper portion of the charts. That's what you look like. These beautiful beings of light. And when you are created by what you might call a heavenly mother, a heavenly father, a godfather, a godmother, from some star or central sun, at some point, like here on Earth, cosmic mom and dad say, don't you think it's time to go? I've raised you. There's a big universe out there. Go, leave. And all beings that are created in stars and suns from the heart flames of creation, they start their journey in the physical universe, visiting planets that were ideally created to host sentient beings coming into a physical reality for the first time. Now, your planet Earth, and she was 15 million years ago, after being prepared for hundreds of millions of years, she was a magnificent Garden of Eden. It wasn't Eden, it was Edon, E-D-O-N. And even back then, when your planet was in a state of perfection, it was not electronic perfection. If its perfection was made of electrons, then that would be a state that could never be changed or massaged or altered. It would be a state created by perfect beings, because planet Earth became training ground where you make first contact, and you were all looking forward to it. I love the moment we can just, use our powers and create moving images in front of you and show you. Show you the years of training you went through in the great central sun before you all left for this earth. And all of you giggling and laughing and looking forward to it. Imagine an astronaut being trained to be out in space. Imagine an astronaut looking forward to putting on these space suits. Well, you were looking forward to putting on these physical embodiments. You did not have a physical body. You had an electronic body of light. What did it look like? Look at the chart. You can thank Saint Germain for that. That's what you all looked like. And so, you were looking forward to coming into a physical planet. But as you were explained, you as beings of light, there's just no way that the physical bodies that were going to be prepared for you could take on the full power and dominion of your light. Your light was made of the super electron. No. You're going to have to step yourself down.